Have you ever felt like your inner glamour girl was being pushed down and buried deep somewhere inside of you because life just has a silly little habit of getting in the way sometimes? I am here to bestow upon you not only the permission to be the glamorous bombshell of your dreams, but to give you the tools and tips and everything you'll ever need to start fully embracing glamour in your life. Hey bombshell, welcome to Haley O'Reilly's School of Bombshellism, a place where women come together to create a lifestyle inspired by old Hollywood bombshells and learn to cultivate a sense of glamour and beauty in our lives as everyday modern women. In this video, I will get you started on what has become for me one of the most meaningful journeys of my life, the journey of glamour, self-creation, beauty, and of course, a healthy sprinkle of bombshellism. So if you are ready to embark on this glittering journey, or even if you're not ready, because being fully ready for anything is just a myth anyway, then take my hand and let's go. To give you a bit of backstory about me and glamour, I had come to a bit of a crossroads with my personal style and my identity around the beginning of 2024, where I felt like I was trying but failing to figure out who I was and what I liked and what I wanted. I figured that now would be the time to choose for myself. I had gotten married and made the absolute best choice in a husband, and he was going to support and love me no matter what I wanted to do. And lo and behold, I wanted to be glamorous, to go fully fledged with a fascination I had had for my entire life. Finally, I could be glamorous. I love what Addison Rae said about luxury being a choice. I really felt that to my core, and that in my late 20s, I was about to choose and have that luxury for myself. I wanted to explore artifice and self-expression and confidence, and I wanted to do it all through glamour. I wanted to learn from icons like Dita Von Teese or women from old Hollywood like Jane Mansfield or Sophia Loren, who all had this incredible ability to create a life that was dazzling and fulfilling simply by just existing as themselves. I thought about my legacy, how I want to be remembered for my heart and kindness, but also for my love for perfumes and high heels and lipsticks, and my love for beauty and womanly wisdom. I always felt that my love for glamour was maybe a bit superficial and therefore unimportant and not worth focusing on, but society has that all wrong. Glamour is important, at least to me it is, and I find purpose and meaning in it every day. It's extremely powerful. It has a powerful effect on everyone around you, and we definitely need more glamour in this world. I'm not kidding when I say it has changed my life in so many ways. It makes me more intentional, confident, more passionate, and excited in the mundane, everyday things of this world. It's literally light, reflective, glittery, shiny, pure light. Glamorous life is for you if you're the type of woman to feel transformed by a signature scent or lipstick, and if you curate your life in such a way where everything becomes your signature. People look at you and say, this is so you when they see something. You're thrilled over the idea of personal style and all your belongings reflecting your character. Some of my glamour rules are I like to have signature curls and red lipstick. I wear a 3/4 lash extension. On this channel, my overarching inspiration is old Hollywood bombshellism, but that might look so different for you. Every glamorous woman has her own brand of glamour, and that's the very thing. You just have to cultivate and embrace that singular brand that you have and not stray from it, literally ever. Dita Von Teese is an example I never stop talking about. When it comes to glamour, she's heavily inspired by the 30s, 40s, 50s. She has glamour muses like Betty Page and Gypsy Rose Lee, and burlesque and striptease are real big pillars of her glamour identity, and they kind of create a narrative around her glamour. She was the stripper who dared to be different with the porcelain skin, and she created her own lingerie line later on. So her own personal story is weaved through her glamour, and I think this is a very important thing when coming up with your own idea of your glamour is developing your own personal story and what that says about you and who you are and how that fits in with your own personal brand and glamour. That's something that Dita Von Teese endlessly teaches us through her interviews and everything. She's literally never changed her style, not once. That is something so inspiring, and she truly lives the glamorous life in every little thing that she does. She's had the same brand of glamour since the 90s. That is true commitment. And if you think you're ready for that kind of commitment, then this, my love, is for you. And I have decided that the glamorous life is for you, and you're willing to take the road less traveled and create your unique brand of glamour that you're going to take with you to the grave. So what does this actually mean for your life? It means a lot more than you can even imagine. This one switch up to your life is going to completely transform your life for the better. There's nothing more deeply satisfying than committing wholeheartedly to being yourself and embracing your uniqueness, embracing everything that makes you you, and really caring about that and honoring that in everything you do. Especially if you had that yearning in you since you were a child and you're now starting to realize that it's possible. It's very possible for you to be literally whoever you want to be. It's not that serious, this life, you know? You can honestly do whatever you want and be whoever you want. Glamour can do wonders for your self-esteem. You don't have to conform or worry about what other people think. You can block out all the noise and follow your inner knowing of who you truly are. Embracing your very own brand of glamour means finding yourself in the small details of your life. Creating an identity that is so steeped in glamour and myth, it is just exceedingly interesting and alluring. It is about both being and creating yourself, becoming your very own muse. This will have your confidence skyrocketing. Seriously, because you are not competing with anybody. You are existing entirely outside of other people's perceptions and ideas of you. You are your own creation and idea of yourself. You aren't living for trends, and you're not idealizing youth or a certain beauty standard. You belong in your very own lane, which is any woman's ideal way to thrive. Glamour can stay with you until you're old. You can literally build your legacy this way. Taking the glamorous route means showing up to every day like it's going to be the best freaking day of your life. Acknowledging the endless possibilities that exist within days and moments and people and places that you encounter, really seeing things the way you want to see them, and seeing the beauty and potential in absolutely everything. It will make your mind work in incredible ways. You will literally start to notice and appreciate things like you never have before. Glamour also offers a powerful pathway for healing our relationship with beauty. Unlike the really harsh relationship many women develop with their appearance, glamour invites us to approach beauty as simply an art form, one where we're both the artist and the art. This perspective shift really helps us move from a place of judgment and comparison to one of creativity and self-expression. When we embrace glamour, we learn to see our features not as flaws that we need to fix, but as unique characteristics to be celebrated and enhanced. This is so healing. It can transform our daily beauty rituals from obligations into acts of self-love and just honoring who we truly are. Through glamour, we can really rediscover the joy in beauty and start enjoying it again, instead of viewing it as some sort of obligation or something that we have to constantly work on or worry about. With glamour, we're completely freed from the shackles of societal expectations and trends and beauty norms. Beauty trends and fixations are entirely of this world, but glamour is transcendental. So when we embrace glamour, we're not just following a trend or conforming to current standards. We're tapping into something completely timeless and profound that exists separately from all of that. And if you aren't convinced that glamour doesn't conform to beauty standards, take Sophia Loren as an example. She is widely considered to be one of the most beautiful women of all time, one of the most iconic women of all time. But, when she was entering beauty pageants as a teenager in Naples, she was being told that she needed to get a nose job and fix her appearance in order to get to Hollywood. She was seen as not good enough by a lot of people. She was really harshly criticized throughout her entire career, even when she did eventually gain fame. She was told her features were ugly and that they shouldn't work. But they did. And you know what? She owned them, even though people may have considered them to be a little bit outside of what the beauty standard was at the time. In my opinion, perfume is a huge factor when it comes to starting your glamour journey. And that's exactly where I started my glamour journey 5 years ago when my obsession with perfumes began. I feel like every glamour girl has a big passion for perfumes, and it's the ultimate test and curator of your personal taste. It really represents a lot about your character, I think, and what you want to represent as well in the world. I would like now to share a Dita Von Teese quote that I think really represents what I'm talking about here. Perfume is the magic potion that transforms a charming woman into an enchanting one. To get started on your glamour journey, you should find a signature perfume that really reflects your personality and the way you want to be remembered. This is the scent that will linger in a room after you have left it, one that people will remember you by. So don't take the decision lightly. Let yourself be invited to this glamour occasion that you've created for yourself, where you are building up to finding a signature scent, something you love, something that represents you, your personality, your brand, who you are, your sense of aesthetics and glamour and everything like that. Really experience this occasion of glamour. Don't just pick a perfume because you think it's nice. It's got to be like a very deep experience, and it's got to be an experience of self-exploration too. Personally, I love a perfume with a story, something that is classic and timeless. I do really love a vintage scent. A lot of you know that my signature scent is Shalimar from Guerlain, which was Rita Hayworth's signature scent. So just that fact alone makes me excited and just adore it a lot. But, the smell of it I really connected to. It was definitely something that I was seeking at the time. And that changes. You don't have to have the same signature scent all the time, obviously. And the beautiful bottle helps, okay? So everything about the experience of this perfume has to speak to you, has to speak to your brand of glamour. So again, do not take the decision lightly. You got to really look into the perfume, the story behind the perfume, and what you believe the perfume says about you, because that's very important, I think. And you don't have to have one signature scent, because I certainly don't, and I don't know how people do it, because I really believe that throughout your life you go through different phases, or you have different experiences, or even if you want to wear a perfume for the daytime and the nighttime, like there are different ways that you can curate your perfume collection to be signature to you. That's still something that people remember you by, but it's not the only thing you ever wear, and it could represent a certain phase in your life or something like that. Also, in order to have a glamour journey, you really don't need to have this huge amount of money and start spending it. You can do things really cleverly and cheaply, and I think the YouTuber Amber Scholl perfectly represents this. She is one of my favorite YouTubers. I think she really shows how to be glamorous on a budget. That's kind of where she got her start, and she's still one of the most glamorous women on YouTube. She really lives out the glamour lifestyle, and she always has, no matter how much she had in her bank account, just because it was something she deeply prioritized. And it was very obvious that that was something she prioritized all the time in her life. So it is about prioritization and being extremely creative. It's not easy, obviously. It's so much easier if you have money, but it can also be harder if you have a lot of money, because there are a lot of people who just, they can misrepresent glamour by just buying a lot of expensive things that are not really attached to them in any way, and just, because they're shiny and new and expensive, um, that is a cheat code to glamour, but it's definitely not. Again, that's not what glamour is. Glamour is a lifestyle. Glamour is something that is personal, and it's a creative process. So you can't cheat code your way there by spending lots of money. So don't get sucked into doing that when you start this glamour journey. It's definitely something that I have struggled with because I love shopping, and there are a lot of things that are on my wish list permanently that eventually I would like to purchase in order to, represent my glamour, add to my glamour a little bit more. But look, I'm wearing the same robe that I've wore in my first YouTube video, which was almost a year ago, because I don't have that many robes. Now, do I want to develop a beautiful robe collection? Yes, of course I do, but it's going to take a lifetime, and that's the kind of point that I want to get across in this video. Your glamour journey is going to take your whole life. So don't think that you can just be glamorous today and then it will fade, or it will go away, or it will maintain. Like, it's something that is developed, and you learn throughout your life how to be glamorous and what that means for you. And it's kind of a journey. That's why I've described it as a journey. You just kind of take yourself on this journey and never get off. That's the whole concept here. So definitely don't think that you need to just drop a lot of money to just instantly become glamorous, because you got to work for it. You got to think, you got to come up with something that works for you and develop it and hone it for a lifetime, which takes years. So yeah, take after YouTuber Amber Scholl. She's amazing. She knows exactly this, and now she does have a lot of money. So that can always happen for you too. But that's not a quick way to become glamorous. You can't cheat your way to glamour, in my opinion. There's a lot of celebrities out there that look very glamorous on the red carpet, but they don't live the glamour lifestyle. Not like Dita Von Teese does. They don't commit. They don't work hard for it, and it requires a lot of work. So it's definitely got to be something that you're super passionate about, and that you want to make it as true to you as possible, so that you don't just drop it one day because you've changed. You're always going to have those core beliefs and core aspects of who you are inside of you. So really try to incorporate those things into your glamour. All of this being said, really I can only make suggestions where the glamour journey really starts within you. And after this video, I want you to start that self-exploration, because it's not going to be instant. It's something you got to dig up and dig into, and it will take a while. So, don't take any of these decisions lightly. Really be intentional about them. That's what glamour is all about. For me, I find it's really helpful to just drown out the noise from the internet and other people, trends, because it's really hard to focus on your own sense of glamour when that is all going on out there. So once you figure that part out, you're well on your way. And this is for life. It's something you adopt for an entire lifetime, and it's going to be really fulfilling for you if you do decide to adopt glamour into your life. I love glamour tutorials and videos from older women, because their knowledge is just so obvious. It's obvious they've earned it over their lifetime, and how fabulous is it to really aspire to that? It's something to look forward to in your future, that you can develop and hone this and have a wonderful knowledge, and you can have something that's lasting and entirely yours at the end of it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I hope you'll stick around for lots more glamour and bombshellisms to come. And yeah, subscribe. Bye. Mwah.